Hello YouTube and welcome back this evening to another Raging Reality reaction video, where tonight, ladies and gentlemen, we are up to part 7 of our album Assault Battle Royal, with a song that I think this is going to be something different. I think this is going to be something so special and spectacular that it won't just be one of the songs that just goes through one ear straight out the other. I reckon it's going to bang and, crash about inside my head until I can come up with anything comparable. Because bearing in mind, You Really Got Me is a song I want to do for a very special video, because You Really Got Me, by the Kinks, is considered by many to be the very first heavy metal song ever made. Now, as to what if that technically is true in terms of was it really as revolutionary as it claims to be? We'll have to look into that when the time comes. But speaking of time, and this is something that I talked about a little bit yesterday when I was doing I'm a Boy by The Who, is that we are doing songs that are 50 years old. I mean, I'm a Boy is about 51 and the Kinks' Apeman is coming up to 50 years old. Let's see what half a century can do to a song. Now, with all that being said and done, if you guys want to check out the original videos for yourself, links will all be in the description down below. Let's begin. Apeman in 3, 2, 1, and...
I think I'm sophisticated cause I'm living my life like a good homo sapien. But all around me everybody's multiplying and they're walking around like flies, man. So I'm no better than the animals sitting in their cages in the zoo, man. Cause compared to the flowers and the birds and the trees, I am an ape man. I think I'm so educated and I'm so civilized cause I'm a strict vegetarian. But with the overpopulation and inflation and starvation and the crazy politicians, I don't feel safe in this world no more. I don't wanna die in a nuclear war. I wanna sail away to a distant shore and make like an ape man. I'm an ape man, I'm an ape man, no I'm an ape man. I'm a King Kong man, I'm a voodoo man, no I'm an ape man. Cause compared to the sun that sits in the sky, compared to the clouds that they roll by, compared to the bugs and the spiders and flies, I am an ape man. La, 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 la. In man's evolution, he's created the city and the motor traffic rumble. But give me half a chance and I'll be taking off my clothes and living in the jungle. Cause the only time that I feel at ease is swinging up and down in a coconut tree. Oh, what a life of luxury, to be like an ape man. I'm an ape man, I'm an ape man, oh I'm an ape man. I'm a King Kong man, I'm a voodoo man, oh I'm an ape man. I look out the window but I can't see the sky. The air pollution is a fucking up my eyes. I wanna get out of this city alive and make like an ape man. La 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 la. Come on and love me, be my ape man girl, and we'll be so happy in my ape man world.
Okay there, ladies and gentlemen, that was Apeman by the Kinks. Friggin' baller that was. And I don't particularly think anybody's ever used the word baller to ever describe a song by the Kinks before, but I resonated with that. And I strongly imagine that, well, more as a hope that other people like that as well, as much as I did, because from the very first line, I think I'm sophisticated. That seems to be almost the mantra for the last 50 years in many ways. We think we're sophisticated, but why do we think we're sophisticated? And how best am I going to put this? Like, Ray Davies, and I think it was Ray Davies, but he follows us up with this argument. 'Cause I'm living my life like a good Homo sapien, but all around me everybody's multiplying, till they're walking round like flies, man. So I'm no better than the animals sitting in their cages. I'm the zoo man. 'Cause compared to the flowers and the birds and the trees, I am an ape man. He thinks he's... It stems back to a lot of things about like evolutionary terms, about are we really any more sophisticated than our primitive ancestors? For example, wherever we came from or whatever we evolved from, are we technically as more advanced than the rest of the world because and it's strangely enough, it's because of the environment, which I think it was somebody who suggested that it was the environment that shapes us, that decides who we are, from our notions between right and wrong, to who we like, who we don't like, who we trust, who we distrust. Do we go from person to person implying that everybody else is so alike that we just seem to brush everyone off with sort of like the same brush, that I call myself sophisticated, but in reality you're no more cleverer or dumber than I am. So you know what? We may as well be considered just like, not so much Homo sapiens, but just like another breed of that kind. Like, so first there was the apes, and then there was Neanderthals, and then there was humans. But is there anything else? I mean, who's to say this is not the end? This is the end of evolution, because I don't think that. But the human species as we are right now, this is not the end as far as evolution is concerned for us. Who knows, maybe in, let's say, 10 million years time, we will have grown 4 arms in our back to compete with the excessive typing we have to do, because if technology doesn't consume and becomes implemented into every single part of everything we do from now on, then our bodies will simply have to adapt and construct whole new organs, or come up with ways to sit for more than 24 hours at a time, sitting at a desk, working away to meet demands. Who's to say we are not going to become more adept at working in an environment where we are told we have to do more to earn more? Because who's to say that that's just not the work of forcing almost slave-like conditions, similar to that, like sitting in a cage for the whole world to look at? Maybe the whole world right now is merely just a cage, one big cage for everyone else, both inside and outside of the cage, to look at. But who is on the outside of the cage? Who are the ones that get to decide by looking inwards that we are any better off, we are any more sophisticated than the rest of the world, if the rest of the world is inside this cage? So in reality, it's not anyone else looking outside. It's simply we are looking back at ourselves in this cage. We can't see the world from outside this cage because everyone is involved in it and nobody can escape it. And then Ray Davies goes on to this. I think I'm so educated and I'm so civilized because I'm a strict vegetarian. I love that part right there. The implication that only eating plants and only eating vegetables and fruit makes you any better a person than somebody who eats meat, which I think that notion is so ridiculous. and especially regarding people who force their agendas onto other people. I friggin' cannot stand that. I cannot stand, and this goes for meat eaters, vegetarians alike. I cannot stand anyone who says, just have a bit of meat, it won't kill you. Or, people who say, if you continue to eat meat, the whole world will be screwed because of people like you. The Amazon rainforest is going on because of people like you. People forcing their agendas either way, I think is just despicable. And it almost seems like it's not about trying to, teach people, show people why doing this, that, and the other is going to be healthier for you, but people just straight up, having a shouting match, and whoever is shouting the loudest is going to be the one who succeeds. So how is that any more civilized from, let's say, two bison fighting each other over land or territory or over a mate? How is that any different? In my opinion, there's not really that much difference. It's just it's a fascinating discussion, I reckon. But with the overpopulation and inflation and starvation and the crazy politicians, I don't feel safe in this world no more. I don't want to die in a nuclear war. I was about to say, because again, when was this released? 1970. Okay, now I'm beginning. I again. There was also a great Black Sabbath song that came out in the same year called, I think it was Hands of Doom, that was released on Paranoid, which also talks about nuclear war, which I called the British Master of Puppets. And if you've never listened to Hands of Doom yet, what the hell is that noise? It sounds like dogs being trampled on or something like that. I want to sail away to a distant shore and make like an ape man. And I love this chorus for two reasons. I'm an ape man, I'm an ape man, I'm an Apeman, I'm a King Kong man, I'm a voodoo man, I'm an ape man. Because compared to the sun that sits in the sky, compared to the clouds as they roll by, compared to the bugs and spiders and flies, I am an ape man. He is a man of nature from now on, because the nature he used to be a part of is no better off than the one he's consigned himself to. One surrounded by nature, one not surrounded by people screaming at the top of their voices and making bad problems even worse. And then there's a tiny little interlude. In man's evolution, he has created the city and motor traffic rumble, but give me half a chance and I'll be taking off my clothes and living in the jungle. Away from the noise, away from the chaos. That seems... I like that. I like the fact of just being a little bit away from... Even if you can live without... well, I suppose the idea is that this guy has sort of come up with the idea that he can't live with the good without the bad. So you know what? He'll do the next best thing and put himself into a different environment. One far away from all this sophistication and all that, because is it really that sophisticated? 50 years ago, well, what counts as being sophisticated? Being a candidate for Vietnam or Watergate 50 or so years ago, and 50 years later in 2020, what do you want to be, guys? A candidate for George Floyd, or do you want to be a candidate for COVID-19? And bearing in mind, ladies and gentlemen, this year is not even over yet. We have still got a lot of this year to go. And if I had it my way, and if I had any vision of the future at the beginning of this year, I would have run outdoors, ripped off all my clothes, and lived in the jungle, swing with the apes, fight with the snakes, talk to the badgers. And if you guys know where that reference comes from, you're probably far older than me. So anyway, I hope you guys have enjoyed this reaction video. Please leave your thoughts and comments in the comment section down below. Let me know what you guys thought of Apeman by the Kinks. Please also make sure to also like and subscribe to get daily notifications when my videos come out. And I hope to see you guys again in the next reaction video. Take care. Bye bye for now.